Hola amigos, bienvenidos a un nuevo programa de El Mundo.
Hello everyone and welcome to our show El Mundo, the World, and today we'd like to talk about racism, about Latinos in the United States, about social unrest. Hello, Dr. Michael Leitman. We'd like to ask you, how can we reach a harmonious solution for the situation? We can't hear you. Thank you very much for having me on this show. And the subject is really something very close to me because I went to Latin America many times, and also I met with the Latinos in North America, so I'll be happy to talk about this.
The
protests in the United States due to what happened with George Floyd have created some kind of social rift, and this caused the Latino community to identify, sympathize as a community as a minority. It feels also, it identifies with what's going on. Today, it's the biggest minority, the Latinos. They can really influence and propagate change. So how does the alliance between these two groups, how can it bring to something positive to the American society? I don't know. This is actually something that I don't really understand or know. I don't think that there is real closeness or something between them. Maybe, because these have a problem, those have a problem, then in order to get something from the government, to be able to pressure it, they connect. But I don't think that there can really be an inner kind of closeness between them. I also don't really think that the Latinos in North America really feel suppressed compared to the Afro-Americans. The Afro-Americans feel very, even though that they were born there and they have everything. Sometimes even more than white people do. But the feeling that they're not like everyone is something that's sitting deep inside a black person. And the Latinos, I don't think so. I think that nonetheless that they're closer to white people, to understand them, to be like them. And therefore, I don't think that there is such a big gap between a South American and a North American versus an Afro-American and a white American. That's interesting because the recent research is, according to the wisdom of Kabbalah, humanity is divided into 4 races: black, white, red, yellow. The Latin population in the United States are about 60 million people, about 20% of the population. The characteristics of this community is that they're represented, they come from different roots. Could be white, black, even of Asian descent. There is a kind of like a multiplicity of roots, but they're all considered to be the Latin community. When you ask what are they identifying more with or how do they define themselves, more than 39% of the Latinos say that they see themselves as white. Almost 40%. How do these characteristics of the Latin population, which is like a subgroup how can they support the rest of the American society? I have a feeling that there's no problem to be absorbed, for them to be absorbed in North America as white Americans, those that come from Latin America, all the more those that already live in North America. I didn't feel it either, that they have some kind of feeling of inferiority or that they're different than white Americans, that they differ from them. And even if you feel that someone's from North America, so what? So he's from North America, and half of the United States is also related to Mexico, all the south there, which is also a part of Latin America, which is related to Latin America. I don't think that there's much of a problem with Latin America, with the Latinos, so-called, in North America. I don't feel that there's some kind of resistance or collision or something. The truth is that I also didn't feel that the Afro-Americans have such a problem. If they don't want to be conspicuous, they can live like any American citizen without any problem. No one will tell them anything, no one will do anything to them. To the contrary, you'll see that everyone's keeping the equality meticulously, giving him the opportunity to study in the university, acquire a profession. There was an Afro-American president in the United States, and so on. So I don't think that there is a problem here. For the success of a mixed society, like in North America, which is like modern Babylon, to what measure does every group have to keep its characteristic? To what measure, on the other hand, should they concede their characteristics in order to unite, come together in the best possible way? I think that every such society in the United States has to make sure that there is an American spirit that is common for everyone. This is one thing. That children will grow up in such a way that they'll feel as little difference as possible between whites and blacks, and red and yellow. I think that there has to be this inclination in society as a whole. It seems to me that in our time, citizens, American citizens, white American citizens, want more equality than the Afro-Americans do. That the Afro-Americans have this kind of demand that we have to be such and such. Why do they want to be so conspicuous? It's an inner feeling of inferiority. This is something that has to be worked on. In the United States and in other big cities around the world, we see that there are specific areas like the Latin, where the area where the Latinos live, Chinatown, those. Should we preserve these differences even geographically, or what will do the best for society to be healthy? I don't think that it works according to what we will now forcefully do, but it's simply that it has to be given more and more time and treatment. According to what I understand, according to the forces of nature, there is just one force that can skip over all of these differences, it is the force of love. And this is something that you have to learn. What can we respect? What can we love about someone else? And this way, we can evoke the same attitude from them towards myself. Only this way. And that was exactly the question. What should be the point of connection where all of these groups in such a various society are connected? You have students from all around the world. We see on the lessons that you give or on congresses that you have, it's really like a sense of family. You're like a father that hugs everyone, cares for all of your students, no matter where they're from, who they are. How is it possible to reach this level on the macro level, maybe from your experience? How's it felt? That there's all of humanity, like a mini... We have a special force that connects us all, which is the force of connection that we have to stabilize between us. Otherwise, we will not come to our goal. We won't reach the goal that we set out to reach. Therefore, I think that here there has to be a real educational system, but it is possible that we really have congresses, and even on every lesson where we study the method of about the method of connection, because the purpose of our organization is to connect everyone by ties that are above all differences. And we learn this on a daily basis. We have these kinds of lessons. We learn how to come closer to each other. And therefore, I don't think that there is some kind of a problem here. We don't feel differences. Even that I know that he's black, and he's yellow, and he's red, and he's white, so what? We pay no attention to what we have in this world altogether because we want to rise above this world. Because the force of love, the force of connection is above our egoistic nature. And therefore, I pay no attention to my students, to their external form. There's a difference in how to express the force of connection and love. So they're men, they're women. There is a difference that we're afraid that this might blur what's important. But besides that, no, nothing. In our connection, I don't see any hardships. I have students, beloved students, from all of every race, color, language, country, and I can't say anything about this. If so, then it is possible to say that this is an example that it's truly possible to keep these unique, special characteristics for every group and above the differences to create this bridge of connection and love. Yeah. And also, what does it mean to keep everything that there is in every group? What is there about it? We're people. We're human beings. And there's nothing special in every group. We see that there are no differences between us. None. We have to care about how do we come closer until we erase all of our differences. And we really feel that we're together in one heart. If so, can you give us some tip, recommendation? The recommendation is simple. Come to us. And let's all connect. Because our organization are thousands and thousands of people that we meet daily, and we want to be together in one heart. All of us. And really, you have all colors there, all people. Please. Men, women, of all colors. The main thing is that we understand that the future of the world is to be one. So be it, Dr. Lightman. Thank you very much. See you on our next show. All of humanity will understand that there's a method of how to connect above all differences, and we will do it. Good luck. Thank you.